Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some of my tips on how you can get a funded trading account. If you already know all about funding challenges and you just want to hear my tips on how to pass, make use of the chapters function and head to the start of the tips. I have that marked out. You can go there without having to watch the rest of the video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some of my tips on how you can get a funded trading account. In my opinion, funded accounts are one of the best ways to scale up your trading career. When you go from a novice to a profitable trader, one of the biggest things that holds most people back is a lack of capital. If you can trade consistently and bring in 5 to 15% per month, that is brilliant. But when you only have a very small capital of a few $1,000s or a few $100s, you're not going to get very far in the long term to actually build a successful full-time career. Fortunately for new traders, over the past few years, the rise of proprietary trading firms has really come about. Nowadays, it's possible to prove your skills to a funding company and actually get capital provided to you for a profit split. And as long as you can make money, and as long as you can prove that you can make money with the trading firm, they will give you and allow you to keep access to a large account. So rather than trading your own $100 or trading your own $1,000, what you can do is invest this into a funding challenge. You could potentially turn $100 into $10,000 by actually getting access to a $10,000 account. Or you could turn $1,000 potentially into upwards of $200,000. And when you have access to that capital, you can then trade that capital. And as long as you don't blow it up, you can make money on that, essentially risk-free, while the prop firm takes a cut of the profits. So as you can imagine, the doors are now open to massive capital for traders who can prove that they can win. To get access to an account, all you need to do is pass a 30-day trading process, make a specific amount of profit within that time frame, and then pass a second 60-day process and make a certain amount of profit in that time frame. When you do both of these, you have proven to the funding company that you can trade consistently over a 60 to 90-day period with good risk management, and from there you will get instant access to a trading account of which you can trade and keep some of the profits. So who offers these good evaluation programs? Well, the two top ones that I can think of right now, and the two that I know are currently trusted, are FTMO and My Forex Funds. FTMO are the largest and the most established. They offer really good payout splits, they offer really good evaluation programs, but they do have quite a lot of restrictions around news and rules. My Forex Funds has less rules, less restrictions, but they are newer. If we all know the catastrophe that went down with Funding Talent, which was also a proprietary trading firm, they basically were a firm that came about, got loads of people with them, and then they ended up closing the doors. Now, they did offer refunds, but it is a lot of wasted time and effort if you go through a large process only to lose the account down the road. So for me, FTMO is obviously going to be the number one choice for that reason. If My Forex Fund stays around for a few more years and they prove themselves, then they are going to be good to look into in the future. Now, you may want to use them now. I do know many people getting paid out by them, and I also know many people getting paid out by FTMO. I know these are both trusted right now, but for the long term, my bets are with FTMO. So let's go and look at the different evaluation processes they provide, and then I'm going to give you a lot of tips to get your hands on your first funded trading account. So FTMO have a very simple evaluation process, starting from $10,000 through to $200,000. And basically, you select one of these, and then you take the challenge, and as long as you pass these rules, you get access to a trading account where you get 80% of the profit split. Step one of the evaluation with FTMO then, you have 30 days to make 10%. So looking here at the $200,000 account, we have 30 days to make $20,000, and we cannot lose more than $20,000 while we are trying to achieve that. So we have 10% drawdown limits and 10% targets. The $200,000 account actually costs around $1,300 or 970 euros right now on the sale. Normally it is just over 1,000 euros, but that fee does get refunded to you if you pass both the challenge and the verification. You will then have access to the $200,000 account and you will get your 1,000 euros returned to you. Now, if you have a smaller budget, you can actually go with a 100,000, a 50,000, a 25,000, or a $10,000 account. These bring a cheaper barrier to entry, but also less capital when you actually pass the challenges. Next up, we're looking at My Forex Funds. These also have a very similar evaluation process with very similar profit targets. So the MyForex funds evaluation goes all the way from $10 to $200,000. The fees are very much the same. They're a little bit cheaper over here on MyForex funds, and it's also easier to pass the phases. So notice on FTMO, to pass the evaluation phase, you had to make 10% in 30 days. Over here on MyForex funds, you only have to make 8%, so you have to make 2% less. However, the overall drawdown here is actually 12%, so you have room to make more mistakes and you don't have to make as much profit. But when you pass these phases, you'll move through the same way as you would with FTMO, and you will get access to your account. Now, I believe MyForex Funds is also an 80% payout ratio, so you get to keep 80% of the profits you make when you get the account. So now that we've spoken about the different funding companies and the different ways you can get access to capital, I'm sure you can see how beneficial this can be if you are a trader with a profitable skill set but a lack of capital. Now I'm going to give you some tips on how to pass these evaluation phases, because it can seem very, very easy when you come to doing it, but you may run into a lot of hurdles and you may realize it's not quite as easy as you think. So my first tip is to prove yourself to yourself. There is no point rushing to enter a funding challenge if you don't have a profitable skill set, because you'll fail the evaluation, then you will end up giving up the money that you invested to take the evaluation challenge. So before you even attempt challenges, you need to have a profitable skill set and you need to know that you can consistently make money. So to prove yourself to yourself before you take a challenge, here are some tips. First of all, I would say don't start a challenge until you make 10% 3 times in a row. So spend 3 months and make 10% a month for these 3 months using that 10% drawdown rule. If you can do this 3 times in a row, chances are you can do it a 4th time and get access to capital. And then providing you don't break your strategy, there's no reason why you couldn't do it a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th time, and so on, and make a decent amount of money from these funding challenges. So I would say don't start a challenge until you can make 10% consistently 3 times in a row. Now, if you have a slow month, a slow phase, and you make 5%, for example, don't beat yourself up over it. Just move on and see if you can make 10 for the next 2 months. Leading on from this, FTMO actually have trial accounts. These are 2-week trial accounts where you have to make 5%. So it's the same rules as usual, but chopped in half. You could take one of these trial accounts, which is going to be totally free, and if you can win 3 of these in a row, that's going to show you that you can abide by the rules, it's going to get you used to the rules, and then when you take a challenge, you are likely to just be able to play the process out in the same way and win the evaluation. Now, you also need to make sure you have backtested a lot and have a solid plan built from your results, from your wins and your losses. If you don't have a trading plan, do not even consider taking a funding challenge. So my second tip is to start small. When you take your first challenge, there are a lot of psychological implications that you're not going to have in mind. If you start small and you enter your first challenge risking only 0.25% or 0.5%, then you can get a feel for the rules, you can get a feel for the mindset, and you can get a feel for the mental pressure that you may not have expected when you paid for the challenge. The benefit is, on MyForex funds and FTMO alike, if you don't pass the evaluation phase, but you do finish the month in profit, you will get a free rego. So let's say you risk 0.25 or 0.5% and you only make 3% in a month. That doesn't mean you lose your money, you just get reset back at the 0 mark to then make 10% again. So I've advised this to many of my students, and I do now have quite a lot of students who are funded through one-to-one and also through my academy. And these students, I've always advised to start off small. So go in risking a very small amount, get a feel for the psychological implications and the mindset challenges and the rules. And then when you are feeling comfortable with the whole process, go for a free rego, use your free rego, and actually attempt the challenge from there. My third tip is to craft a repeatable system. So I personally think in trading and funding challenges alike, discretion is not your friend. Now, there are going to be some of you who are discretionary traders who are doing it very successfully. But for the most part, I think most people are going to work better when they have a repeatable, step-by-step process that they can follow for every single trade. Before you start a challenge, build yourself a system of step-by-step processes and then stick to that on every single trade you take. If you do that, you should come out on top as long as you've followed the earlier rules we spoke about and proven to yourself that your system works before buying a challenge. Don't get discretionary. Don't dive in and take mediocre trades. Just follow the system step by step, time after time. Now, my fourth tip is something not many people consider, and that is to set specific trading hours. I think something that a lot of people do, from members that I've spoken to in my groups when they first take funding challenges and other traders as well, is spend an entire month on their phone and on their computer as soon as they buy the challenge. Nothing else goes through their mind, and they check their charts and they check their phone and they check their laptop so many times in a day to see how their trades are getting on. This is very counterproductive because it's going to cause you a lot of stress. It's going to allow you to never escape from the trading stress and from the trading mindset. And it's also going to lead to over trading. Another thing it can do is if you enter a position and then keep looking at it, you may hesitate and close it early, only for it to turn into a large win. So there are a lot of problems with actually staring at your phone so much and being active at the charts so much when you're taking a funding challenge. So my advice to you here is work within a set trading session or box your trading into hours. Perhaps you're not a day trader, perhaps you're a swing trader, but you should still try and box your trading. Have a few hours a day where you set alerts, you set orders, and then have specific timing where you can go and check that, or use alerts once again so that when price hits, for example, break even levels or partial taking levels, you get an alert to your mobile and that's when you can log in. You need to find a way to cut yourself off from the charts for quite a lot of the time. You cannot spend 24 hours a day on the charts, or it's going to drive you insane and it's going to lead to some bad results. My fifth tip, which is something that I have to tell a lot of people, is use the whole time frame. When you take a funding challenge, you get 30 days, but so many people are in a rush to pass straight away. If you think about it, you have 4 full trading weeks, right? We have 5 days, then 5 days, then 5 days, then 5 days, then weekends included. That is essentially your whole time frame for the challenge. Well, we have to make 10%. If we break that down, we have 2.5% per week as a profit target. And if we can do 2.5% a week, the challenge is done. 2.5% can be brought in from one good trade on a 1% or a 0.5% risk. So if you can do one of those a week, or keep around that level, you're going to pass. People overcomplicate it and people chase the challenge and race the challenge as if they have to finish within the first week or as if they have to finish in the first few days. There is no rush. Make use of the whole 30 days you get. There's no problem doing that. And you are going to have a more relaxed experience and probably a more profitable experience if you stay grounded in this 2.5% per week target. And my final tip for passing evaluation challenges is it's not done until it's done. I've had so many people tell me that when they go on a losing streak, they go a little bit mad. Let's say you lose 3 trades in a row, you're now down 3%. If you think logically about it, that is only 3%. But because you are on a time limit and because you really want to get that funded account, you can go insane and start taking massive risks, start taking really bad positions with double risk, or even with the same risk, but just mediocre positions that are not going to win, just out of hope that it turns around. You have to remember that the challenge is not done until it's done. 3 losses is not going to kill you. Even 6 losses in a row won't kill you. 1 or 2 good trades at 6R or 3R is going to bring that entirely back for you. And even if you don't finish at the profit target, you can finish for a free rego. So if you're on a losing streak, do not go mad, take it slow and continue rolling with the process as you usually would until the challenge is done. Now, I've also heard stories from the other side of the spectrum where traders have nearly passed, they're around 1 or 2% away, and then they go crazy and force loads of trades hoping to get it done now, hoping to get it done this day or this week, rather than waiting for the next good high probability trade to come around. Instead of being patient, these traders just go crazy and they end up moving from 1% away from the target all the way back down to the starting point, or even sometimes into loss. So whether you're in a losing streak or you are 1% away from passing the challenge, just trade as usual. Forget about the time limit and forget about the targets. Focus on high quality, high probability trading, and overall, the challenge is going to work out well for you. I can assure you that. So those are my 6 top tips for passing a funding challenge. If you build your trading to a level you're consistently making money, and then you follow those 6 tips that I just laid out for you, I have no doubt that you can get your hands on a funding challenge and scale up your trading career. So I hope you found this video beneficial, and as a final note, I believe in you. You can do this. So get to work on your trading skills, and I hope with this little video, I can help you get one step closer to that funded account that you want. If you want to take your trading skills to the next level and you're looking to get guidance through the process of learning a strategy and getting a funded account, then you can join my trading academy. In the week of filming this video alone, we had 2 students achieve funding, and I've tallied up around $700,000 in student funding so far. In 2022, I will be going hard on this and helping to get more of my students funded. So if you want to be part of the team and achieve your funding goals in 2022, then head over to the link in the description and join my trading academy. And as a nice little bonus, I have a Christmas sale running. So if you use the coupon Xmas at the checkout, you will save £127.50 or 30% off the lifetime fee. I look forward to working with you and helping you to achieve your trading goals.